Hi again, this is Dave at TitleSearch.com. Are you getting title insurance on a property? Even if you are, do a title search anyways, separate from that. Here's the reason why. There are several scenarios where title insurance may have limitations on coverage, may have coverage that ends without you knowing it, that you want to make sure that you're filling in the blanks as an owner for you protecting the title to your property, that it doesn't have clouds or encumbrances. Here's a good example. In a title search policy, there's an entire page known as Schedule B that shows all the exceptions and exclusions from coverage. This is just one example I'm looking at. It has, as an example, first of all, it excludes any and all easements, agreements, and restrictions of records. That means any easements on the property, not covered. So there may be an easement to your property that allows somebody to travel across it. It may allow a utility company to dig up the backyard to put in a cable. It's not covered if you have a title policy. The other thing is you may have encroachments or violations, anything that the way they describe it is that will be shown on a survey. So if somebody comes and does a full survey of the property, you know, the guy with the sticks and the little telescope to boundary out the property and show where the structures are, that survey is going to show, is the neighbor's fence on your property line? Is the neighbor's pool cabana overhanging your property? And if that's the case, you're not going to have a claim against your title insurance policy if those things pop up later and affect the value. Those will be on a survey, and if you get that survey as part of the transaction and include it on the policy, you may be able to get them covered. Most people don't do that. Another one could be, are there parties in possession? That is number 3 on this exclusion. Parties in possession means that if you're buying a property, is there somebody currently living in the house? If that's not something which is disclosed, if it's a foreclosure, if it's a rental property, those parties in possession may have rights. They may have claims to the property. They may have put liens on the property. If a party in possession hires a contractor to do some work, the contractor may go forward just like that person is an owner, and that may create a claim. Which brings me to number 6, mechanics liens. If there are recent repairs or improvements to that property, and a contractor did work, any work, repairs, even materials delivered to that property can result in a claim by those contractors for a lien if they're not paid. They may not be on title, they may not be recorded as a mechanics lien, but they have the same effect on that property as it was recorded on title. The other thing is, a title insurance policy ends on transfer, meaning that if you as a property owner have the property for 10 years and maybe you want to quit claim some of your interest to, let's say, a spouse or a family member, or you quit claim the property to a descendant altogether even though you still live there, that technically may trigger a sale clause, meaning that at that point that title insurance policy is null and void. The title insurance policy itself ends with the current ownership ending as well. So that coverage may not be enforced even if it's technically in the same family or within the same ownership group. By the same token, if you get a property through a quitclaim deed, let's say through an investment, or a short sale, or a foreclosure auction, and then you sell it on a warranty deed to another person, you're warranting that that property is correct, even though you never had title insurance, and that you're warranting complete title going to that person. So in theory, somebody would do a search then, but that title insurance policy is only going to protect them. If there's a claim against it, that insurer may come back against you as the seller because you warranted that deed. So you may want to get a search yourself, check it out, make sure there's nothing on that property that's obvious that can go back to haunt you later. One of the other things that we've seen on title policies, and on this page it shows as a conveyance search, meaning that they're going to go back when they do their search only 24 months to see if there's any records 24 months or newer for conveyance, to look for other names or other people on title. Not sure about how that's going to affect your ownership. You may want to check with an attorney that's doing your deal for you, or somebody that advises you that's qualified on real estate. Sometimes 24 months may not catch all the other owners that have come into title that could have created liens or encumbrances. So title insurance is a good thing. It protects you, especially on a realtor MLS type transaction. But a lot of you out there are doing foreclosure deals, short sales, where title insurance may not be available. A lot of times you can't get title insurance on a foreclosure because they want to wait wait 6 months after the sale, or even if it is, it takes so long to get that policy in place. It might take 2 or 3 weeks for underwriting. You may have your auction in 2 or 3 days. You may not have time for that. So after the fact, check out your title, make sure whatever liens are there you know about, because you may be warranting that sale to the next buyer and have some exclusions that could come back on you. Or if you're a property owner and you quitclaim it, you may have exclusions to your current, your successors that you weren't aware of either.